Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to Madam Ain and all my fellow classmates. Today, my group and I will present about ethical consideration of technology in sport. What is it and why it is important? Before we begin, let me introduce you our team members. The first one is me, myself, Nur Syafinas binti Muhammad Hanafiah, Muhammad Zikri bin Muhammad Zulkarnain, Muhammad Adam bin Muhammad Nur Abadi, and the last one is Muhammad Syafiq bin Muhammad Syam. So these are the overview of our presentation today. Begin with introduction, advanced materials, Hawkeye technology, sport technology issue, history of Olympic and sports technology, sporting challenge and ethical issues, future for technology in sport, and last but not least, the conclusion. Okay, wait. Before we start with the presentation, let's watch this one video about sports technology together.
Just like you, for how long must I wait? I know there's something wrong. Your concrete heart isn't beating, and I've tried to make it come alive. No shadows, just red lights. Now I'm here to rescue you.
How was it? Interesting, right? So now, let's start with the presentation. Introduction will be presented by me, Syafinas. What is technology? Technology are things that are created by human. For what or why? To make things easier and also to solve problems. Some of us, or many of us, might be thinking that technology is gadget, technology is system. But do you guys know that even a pen is a technology? Technology in sports or sports technology, what is it? So basically, sports technology is a technological technique through which athletes attempt to improve their training and competition environment in order to increase their overall athletic performance. It means like athletes use technology to improve their overall performance. It is the understanding and application of specialist equipment or cutting-edge current technology to execute tasks more efficiently. developed to achieve human objective or aims in or related to a specific sport. The development of sports science in recent time has allowed athletes to prepare for any sport tournament using technology. I believe that in this current era, technology is very important in any specific sport to help the athletes to improve their performance not only for tournament but also in their training preparation. These are a few types of technology that been used in sport. The first one is goal line technology. Goal line technology is technology to determine whether the ball is crossing the goal line or not. Next is clothing and equipment. Clothing and equipments are very wide and various that been used in specific sport to enhance the performance. For example, in the picture, the cyclist is using specific clothing in that sport, and also the helmet is advanced material. Next, visual imaging. Visual imaging mostly used to practice using the simulation. Next, time tracking system. Have you guys ever think how do human like us can calculate, can detect the time taken for Usain Bolt running? So these are the technology used. Next is GPS data tracking. GPS data tracking is to detect, to track the athlete's blood pressure, heart rate, and so on. We can see, for example, in JDT players in their training, they always wear that vest, right? Next is Hawkeye technology. Hawkeye technology is ball tracking system. Advantages of sports technology for athletes, coaches, spectators, and for the sport generally. For the athletes, equipment designed for individual need, faster rehabilitation, improved analysis of performance, advanced clothing and equipment, instant feedback on performance. For coach, detailed recording of performance, video analysis, new training technique or equipment, wider range of sport accessible, on-screen information, and for sport generally, increased participation, promotes new and alternative opportunities, leads to more coverage and to attract sponsors. Disadvantages of sports technology. The first one is technology might lead athletes into cheating or unfair practice. Not all technology are available in the competition. Technology can disrupt or slow down game. Technology also could be an unfair advantage. And some technology might be expensive and cost. Next, advanced materials. What is advanced materials? Advanced material is unique or improved characteristic that impart greater performance over ordinary materials. It means that the material is improved to increase the performance rather than ordinary material. It's good and helpful but may result in some harm and bad consequences. Next, high cost material. Most of the advanced materials are high cost materials, but they provide a great measure of good for physical challenge athletes. Next is the changes of sport before of technology and advanced materials basically focus more on the ethical consideration. Before this, in advanced material, the equipment or the technology is just distribution to the wealthy. It means that it only gives benefits to the wealthy since the technology, the advanced materials are costly. Next, competitive opportunities. It gives opportunities in competition for direct harm. For example, the javelin, softball, baseball, golf equipment. It is related with the ethical issues. Next is ergogenic aids. Ergogenic aids is type of performance enhancement to improve athletes' performance. However, man is not a machine. We need ergogenic aids for our supplement to improve the performance. So this is one of the advanced materials in sport. That's all from me. Thank you for your attention. Next, I will pass to the next presenter, Muhammad Zikri. Zikri, the floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day to the beloved lecturer Madam Nurul Ain and fellow friends. Thank you Shapinas for the floor. My name is Muhammad Zikri bin Muhammad Zulkarnain. Now let me continue this presentation with the next subtopic, which is Hawkeye technology. First, what is Hawkeye technology? Hawkeye technology is a camera-based ball tracking system that visually tracks the path of the ball and displays the record of its path as moving images. To me, Hawkeye technology is a spectacular system ever, and now most modern sports use it. From there, we are able to see how great this technology is. Dr. Paul Hawkins is the founder of Hawkeye Innovations in 2011 at United Kingdom. In a simple word, this technology is a ball path tracker with the help of high-performance cameras. For whoever watching soccer in television, you should be familiar with this technology as the referees use it throughout 90 minutes of match time in soccer to make decision. So this system works with 6 or 7 high-performance cameras that is commonly placed under the side of the stadium roof, which track the ball from different angles and different views. The video from all the cameras will triangulate and form a three-dimensional visual of ball's trajectory. So the on-screen representation of the trajectory is called shot spot. The first sport that used this technology is cricket in 2001, and then followed by tennis and soccer, and after that, it is broadly used for about 20 various sports. Now let's take a look on the question, what is the relationship between this Hawkeye technology with sport broadcasting? In this modern era, this technology has been widely used in sport broadcasting. It is undeniable that this technology is actually enhanced sport broadcasting. So how it works towards the enhancement of sport broadcasting? Firstly, it is due to the most innovative, creative, and useful technology in today's sport. People tend to attract with things that give satisfaction and excitation feelings to them. Next, due to its interesting and informative visual graphics, it boosts fans' experience while watching it. Then, social polling in social media platforms by Past Life, which is a digital division in Hawkeye Innovations, creates a competitive behavior among fans on deciding which team will win on that particular match. Then the statistics from the poll will be shown in the match screen. And well, to me it is interesting. There is also statistics from the experts regarding that particular match that will be shown in the match screen. The last one, the interactive second screen widgets and applications by Past Life attract fans to watch the match and also to keep themselves updating about the live match. All this will increase the promotion, information, and commercialization of this technology. Who knows, in today's sport, we are not relying 100% on the referees compared to the past. Now let's take a look on the importance of this technology in sport. Well, we all know sport has an outstanding commercial importance and popularity. Therefore, fair competition is necessary to avoid bad and false impressions towards sport. And then, in decisive moments or high pressure moments, for example, Team A is counter-attacking on Team B, and everyone like running so fast, running everywhere, each player pressurizing each other, so human error is critical at that moment. Anytime the referee can make false decision. This technology also helps in reducing human error and reduce human effort. Lastly, this technology helps athletes and coaches in studying past match performance to be improved for the upcoming matches. So basically, in Hawkeye technology, there are two main components. The first one is tracking system, and the second one is video replay system. Tracking system is necessary to evaluate ball speed, ball swing, ball bounce, ball deviate sideways, and direction on where the ball will pass through. This component is important for sport scientists specifically in improving athletes' performance because unnecessary movements can affect their performance. For video replay system, it provides more video replay cameras for analyzing at different views and different angles. The interesting part about it is that it is remotely controlled. Then the video that has been captured will be stored digitally in the hard disk so that it is easier for whoever need that footage to obtain from the officials. Lastly, the displaying unit like monitor and screen projector make it easier for anybody to watch, and the video can be analyzed anywhere as long as we have phones or laptops. Basically, this component is suitable for performance analysts and sport biomechanists. So of course, when we talk about technology, it is human creation, so it has its own strengths and also it has its own weaknesses. The advantage of this technology is that it is widely used in various sports, and it is not impossible for other sports that not use this system to start using it. Next, it is used by athletes, statisticians, tacticians, and coaches to analyze previous games so that performance can be improved and new strategies can be produced. Lastly, this technology lessens the human effort. So what about the disadvantage of this technology? The first one, it is crazily expensive. However, from the information that I found, Hawkeye Innovations are trying to make it cost effective so that other sports can afford to have it. And then, this technology is not 100% accurate. And to me, it is normal because this is human creation, so it always have weaknesses. For example, in tennis, it is said that the error margin is 3.6 millimeters. Lastly, this technology challenges the umpire's decision. For this disadvantage, it is not just affect on the referee's decision-making ability, but also it will affect the player's behavior and attitude. Players who cannot accept the decision made by this technology will tend to feel angry until they let go their angers to the referee. And that situation make players to bravely pushing the referee, and even worse, the respect is gone. This is a few examples of Hawkeye technology. We can know the direction of the table tennis ball and the tennis ball, and then we can know the decision of the goal, whether it is goal or not, and also to review an offside situation in soccer. Now let's take a look on a few examples of issues that can be related with sporting technology. The first issue is between Kedah and Terengganu soccer team competing in Malaysia Super League on April 2031. This issue regarding the referee didn't notice the handball situation and red card that was given to the Kedah player. Those situations made Kedah team angry and mad until they decide to push the referee as a sign of protest. And that is an ethical problem with a player. Supposed to be, when this situation occurs, never raise your hand to the referee because you can be charged. Basically, this issue is related with referees' decision making and also the lack of technology itself. We all know Malaysia haven't used any Hawkeye technology yet. Sometimes referee tends to be at poor position on the field. So anything happened to the players, if it was analyzed from a poor position, this can lead to poor decision making. And the decision making sometimes can affect the team's performance. And this is not only regarding the performance, it is about integrity of the adjudicators. How the officials can solve and help in this situation is by using technology. But in our country, the problem with the officials is that they are slow in planning and taking action. It doesn't matter in conflict situation or in improvement situation, both situations, our officials fail to give their effort. Then the reason that they give as an excuse for not using this technology or other technologies is because it is expensive. Yes, we know it is expensive, but at least the officials can try to figure out something to overcome the integrity issue. Or maybe it is not an integrity issue, but it can lead to integrity issue if this matter continue. We don't actually know what is happening behind the scene. But this is what officials should improve to bring sport in Malaysia further. A lot of countries out there are racing and competing each others to develop new technologies that can also bring up their countries' reputations and to be well known by other countries. Without the help of technology, we don't even know whether the referees or the players were involved in corruption or not. Maybe another team paid a player or the referee to do that, to do this, and we don't know. Because by referencing on the video replays, we can decide the action on the field is intention or without intention, and this will make things easier. And that is why technology should be considered to be used in Malaysia to at least reduce the ethical problems involving decision-making situation and also in performing sport. Therefore, the use of technology in sport doesn't matter whatever technology that we want to use, as long as it gives positive impact towards sport, especially in Malaysia, should be considered because of its advantages more despite of its disadvantages. Now, I pass my floor to the next presenter. Thank you so much for listening.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Syafiq bin Muhammad Syam. Thank you for the presenter before for passing the baton to me. In my part, I will explain about history of Olympics and sport technology, and another part is about sport challenging and ethical issue. In history of Olympics, Olympics is one of the biggest competition for sport industries. It also become important for the athletes and fans from all over the world. Based from the Bondoro 2018, politics, profit and pressure will become a factor that can make sport will change from time to time. It is because Bondoro also said that when sport will grow, the sport technology also will grow and being needed to enhance the performance of athletes to give a new experience for the audience or spectators, and also will decide which team are the best from all over the world. Right now, I will show to you about what is the technology will be used for the Olympics game. For the first one is timing technology. In timing technology, we'll have two types of it, which is simulcam and slow motion. For the slow motion, it is mean that the image enhancement that will reveal the athlete's movement and execution tactics over the time and space. It is mean all of the fans and their analysis team can see the flow of the athletes will when performs of the skill, like in the figure 1. For the second one is about simulcam. Simulcam is the video enhancement that can make both of athletes, they are competing in different time, but in the video they are like competing each other in the same time. So that's mean they can analyze the opponent and can make their athletes become better than that. On the next one is about podium worthy prosthetics. In this type of technology being named as Autobots Genium X3. This technology is specially for the disabilities athletes, or we known as Paralympic athletes. This technology also been special for the amputee athletes. Because of this technology, it also can give a chance for the disabilities people to give something for their countries by performing in at the big stage of sport industry, which is Olympics game. The next one is about clothing consideration. This technology is being launched by one company from the fashion industry, which is Ralph Lauren. They are launched the leveraging technology for the USA athletes to wear the jackets, that the jacket will make your body feel warm at the opening and the closing ceremony of the Winter Olympics game. The next technology is being called as smart room. This technology was being launched from the three brothers in Europe. This technology is believed that it can give a new effective way to gain their performance and analyze their performance also in curling sport. Based from the Calcula 2018, this smart broom have a micro scratches that can make the athlete to control the distance and trajectory of the rope. It is mean when you push the rope to go to the distance you want, the athletes will use this smart broom to sweep on the surface of ice, and because of that it will increase the temperature at the surface and the ice become melting and the rope can go further like that one. Okay, other than that, Bondarut 2018 also said on this smart broom have 4 sensors to relay the stroke force and the rate to help the athlete to analyze their performance. The last one is about virtual reality. In this technology, it is the new training method for ski sport. It is being first used by the American team to help their ski athletes to perform better on the game. When they perform this training, the athlete will feel the same at the reality competition place by wearing that goggles, and because of that they will get enough prepare before they perform the competition. The next one I will explain about the sport challenge and ethical issue. In sport challenge, when many technology grow in sport industries, it will make it become more challenge. Can you imagine when all of the country on the Olympic Games have the good facilities and have a good technology to help their athletes to get a better performance and reduce the time for their injury? You can see how the challenge at the time. The second point is majority of it give benefit to the athlete, especially for the Paralympic athlete. Yeah, as like I mentioned before, like the technology being named as Autobot Genome X3, it give the Paralympic athlete chance to prove that they can give something for their country. The next point is the best technology is less harmful for the athlete and spectators. It is the important things that when the more technology in the sport places, it also will give a chance to increase the harmful for the athletes and participants also, and the spectators also. So the best technology is less harmful for the athletes and spectators. The next slide is about ethical issue when sport technology is growth. For the first point is ethical issue will arise when technology being used can lead to unfair competition. This point is very important because when one dominant team or one model country use the technology and compete with the country that did not have of the technology, it will give a bias or good opportunity for the one side only, not for the both side. It is mean that the unfair competition and it is illegal, and the technology should be minima of use. For the second point is the country that have more money will dominate the game. Yeah, of course, for the country that have a good technologies or can afford the good technologies will use that technology as best as they can to help their athletes to gain their performance and give a good name for their country. But like I mentioned before, if the technology can lead the unfair competition, the quantity of user of the technology should be reduced. To make it fair, the technology being used is cannot lead to the unfair competition or the result, but can help to gain the performance of their athletes or reduce their injuries. Okay, just it from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you. Thank you to previous presenter Muhammad Shafiq bin Muhammad Syam. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Adam bin Muhammad Nur Abadi, and today I'm going to talk about the future technology in sports. There will be two agendas that I'm going to talk about in my presentation. The first one we're going to look at is positive versus negative effects of technology advancement in sports. And the first one we're going to look at is the ideas on what or how the future technology going to look like in the future and how it going to apply in sports. First and foremost, now I'm going to talk on the positive advancement of technology in sports. The first point is the advancement benefits sports by improving the official's decision during the competition or match. The technology advancement helps them to come up with precise decisions, hence reduce the unforced errors during the competition or match. Technologies such as VAR and goal line technology in football turns out to reduce the arguments that usually occurs during a football match. Therefore, it could avoid any unwanted violence during the match or competition. Second, the technology seems to improve athletic performance and rehabilitation. There are things that bigger than sports. In this case, athletes' well-being. It is important to take care of their health and wellness. High-performance athletes compete in a high-intensity competition. A good recovery process and physical training are very significant for them to sustain throughout the competition period. And next one of sports' purpose is to bring people together. With a better broadcasting technology, we get to share those beautiful moments around the globe. Nevertheless, technology advancement also bring negative effects towards sports. The cons of having this refereeing assistant technology is that it destroys the spirit of the game. For years, the decisions of the referees often becomes the conversation starter, whether it's during recess, meeting, or at mama, for instance. Those things are what become a part of discussion or healthy arguments between peoples or between your friends. But then, as a football fans, I believe this is what brings people together. Next, the development of technology can be very expensive. Companies such as Nike, Adidas are the top tiers when it comes to sporting products. However, this comes at a greater cost. Not all people have the luxury to enjoy this kind of product from these brands. People like this used the money to fill in their plates, not for sporting product. Thus, this might resulting to the inequity of access to high quality sporting equipments. Last but not least, cheating or the use of illegal substance are no doubt very common in sporting competition, regardless of any sports in the world, There will always be the parties who will try to offer such illegal and harmful stuffs to athletes. The athletes who desperate, the kind of desperate one will always be the one who goes into these kind of traps. And the one who was so eager to break any new record or win the competition with the easiest way. The next one we're going to look at is the second agenda for my presentation, which is what to expect in the future. To be specific, any kind of technology or any ideas on how and what the technology going to look like in the future and how it's going to be applied into sports. First, in my opinion, somewhere in the future, maybe we're going to see a lot or a wide range of use in virtual reality technology, especially in sports business. At the moment, or at this moment of time, the VR known for their features in video games. However, I think this VR should be one of the alternatives for sports viewer to experience the sports match into a whole new level.
they could probably just experience the real atmosphere of the sports venue along with other fans around the globe from anywhere or maybe just from their sofa at home. In terms of athletic performance, the VR can provide specific simulation for athletes that's similar to the real game situation. From that, maybe coaches could assign them their desired simulation or their specific simulation that match the real situation of the game and come up with a proper strategy accordingly to the match. Besides that, nowadays we are now fighting to save the earth from global warming and so on by using nature preserving or nature friendly products. It's kind of trends, to save our earth, so it should be good. In recent years, sporting companies have been producing nature friendly products. For instance, during the 2018 to 2019 season, Adidas released third kit for some of the big clubs in football, which is made of ocean waste. Meanwhile, their competition, Nike, done a great job from their infamous VaporMax and Flyknit technology for their shoes for many years before. Those were also made of recycled materials. And then, for my opinion, this should be a stepping stone for more other sporting company out there to produce a lot of sporting equipments from waste materials, and then we can preserve our earth just by doing that. Imagine. In my conclusion, technology in sports is inevitable. We live in a futuristic era. Even in our everyday lives, we depend on technology to move and communicate with people around us. With gadgets such as handphone, iPad, laptop, television and so on. However, in every existence there will always be pros and cons. But then, it's up to us on how we manage ourselves and how well we are going to use this kind of technology around us. The use of technology in sports is simply to fulfill the demands with rapid increase of interest in this field. Responsible organization and authority should play their roles to control the use of technology by applying rules and guidelines. Set some limitation for the use of this technology. That will be all from us. Thank you. Have a good day. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.